You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
Get in life what you have the courage to ask for.
There are 44,831 students at the U of A. Around 80% live off campus. If we just assume that about 20% of those students lived in an apartment, 7,000 students that are signing contracts, leases to their apartments, when the apartments themselves, they don't even know what's in their own contracts and leases. There's a bunch of discrepancies. Apartments not even honoring what the leases say.
Oh, but it says it's open. Oh.
We have a friend that lives here. Considering living here. Would it be possible to, because we're interested in looking at the contract or potential lease. Yeah. Is the sample lease indicative of what it's actually going to be like? Because we kind of had some.
Is it possible if I can bring home a full lease to consider it?
I'll see if we can get
So I can't write any waivers like us.
Yeah.
You guys haven't applied. I can give you a dummy lease.
Yeah.
Moving from 2021st, and I live with my previous roommate. And new leasing, I live with Tiffany and Chris. We share the electricity bill by ourselves. So I pay the electricity bill and wanted to give me the money. If I don't follow his rule, he will not pay my electricity bill. And I put my food mat in our bathroom because I share the bathroom with Chris. He's write down the memo like A4 size paper to write on the memo say you have to take your things out. You just didn't give me my electricity bill. One day I just get into my bedroom. I just always a little loudly when I close the door. Chris just in his room and yelling at me say, "Can you close your door quietly?" When Chris is angry, he always slam the door. He always slam it loudly. And we're just thinking, did I do wrong or did I do anything wrong? Is it all my fault? I don't know why he's so mad. After many things have happened, so I try to talk to him. I just knock his door. When we face to face, he started to screaming or yelling at me because you don't respect me. You have to follow these things. I don't like it, so you have to do these things. I went to the CAPS, the mental health, to search some emotional support because I am a graduate student, so I have a thesis to do. So I have a lot of academic things to do, but when I went home, I always have to face his bad emotion, bad mood. When I in the CAPS, I cannot stop crying because I feel I'm very stressed and I have a lot of pressure on my don't have an advocacy to find it to help us to live in our apartment. Locally tell us we have a report of domestic violence should let us sleep. Just don't any response us or they don't want to take any responsibility on these things. Send a lot of email to them or our local person to call them. They always have found that person to answer oh I don't know or I will talk to our lawyer or attorney, but they're always very late to reply us.
I'm a student now studying in psychology, now participate in studying abroad program in United Kingdom. 反正收到 acceptance 之后，就马上开始申请宿舍。他就给了 option， 就是那个 option 根本离我校区超级爆炸远，所以根本就不可能。然后我就从中选了这个 apartment B， 我就很紧张，我会很没地方住。然后 apartment B 就说好，那你赶快就签合约付钱。在一个很紧张的状况下，我就只能很快速的签了合约，然后付了全部的钱，开始忙签证跟入住。他没有催我付钱，可是他用一个很的方式，就是他就说你多久前内没付钱的话，我们就不会保留你的这个房间哦，你一定要多久前内付，不然你就是准备沦落街头。US Study Abroad 的 advisor 他只是帮你申请，然后帮你过一些文件，然后叫你把 U 的东西写一写，他根本就不 care 你住哪里。你有什么状况可以跟他说啊，但是跟他讲又也没用。我当下搬进去的第一天我就想走了，我就想走，来第10分钟我就觉得我要滚了，我就很想走，因为我就觉得完全跟我想象的不一样，然后加上我就觉得压力 很大，然后就很吵嘛。每天都知道他们在播什么音乐，他们等下去干嘛我都知道，因为就是隔音非常差。然后加上如果他们只要一开趴，就真的是哇靠，我以为我在电影节。他们之前就是讲说，他们2个礼拜会来打扫一次房间啊。但是刚搬进来的时候，我根本就不知道谁什么时候会来打扫，就是完全没有任何 clue。反正我们的宿舍就比较像是公寓饭店式的那种管理，所以你进来前就是要插卡，插下去它常常感应不良。你就要一直去反复插，找到一个完美切合的位置，你才能得到稳定的电源，不然你就要一直去重新插卡。你暖气到23度之后，它就会自动停。可是你到半夜的时候，你觉得冷，你还是不能开，因为你就是到23度了。它插卡机不稳定化，因为那个插卡就是管你一整个房间的用电。在 into reality 的时候，你才会发现everything 跟你想象的都不一样。就说通常大家想搬出去，不是多付1个月违约金吗？那我就申请我要 move out 就好了，然后我就赶快找其他房子，就这样，就想的那么简单。我想搬出去之后呢，我就去找他们的 staff 嘛，然后他们就说没有你要去就是找另外一个人来，然后这点我们合约都说过了，所以你就是必须去找到。他们说他们没办法帮我的原因是因为是他们这一期还有空房，所以他就没办法帮我去找别人，所以他就叫我自己想办法。我初来乍到，啥屁都不知道，不会搭公车，不会没有银行账户，什么都没有，我要去哪里找人来？重点是我叫别人来签我这个房子的时候，我也是很违背良心啊。你为了要 promote 你自己的房子，然后我就还跟别人说，那不然我帮你多付1个月，就等于是给他一点优惠，然后让别人搬进，这样我才能搬出去啊。对，他们是有派人来关心我，就是你还好吗？我们会持续进步啊，你就是不要想太多啦，就是大家人都很好啊，什么什么什么，很崩溃啊！我每天都觉得我早知道就不要来交换的这种心态，就完全没办法好好的做任何事，因为就是一直在这个地方。可是我跟他们 office 讲，他就是讲说，你就签了合约啊。
So because we 3 people in one lease, so is always say no, you cannot. You have to find a person to like sublease. We cannot live this lease.
走投无路了嘛。然后后来我们就是去找 legal service。我这边英国学校，他就很不负责任说，可是你也签合约，我也没办法。我今天就是有问题我才找你，如果我没有问题的话，我为什么要找你呢？我就是按照我签合约啊，不然我干嘛来
？Alright, how did you think about the process?
I think it was interesting. Some places, it's interesting. They like actually give out the lease, or we can find it online. And a lot of the places too said like just you can't, or they just can't give it to us.
We don't have access to that unless you like fill out an application and get to the point of you don't have to technically go forward with it, but you just lose the $220 service and application fee.
Yeah, it's against fair housing laws. We don't do that with any other residents.
Short term, yeah, subletting or rental.
A lot of college students sublease and it's actually illegal.
To sublease?
Yeah, is it?
Not that I know of. Like contract lease, they say that you can't, but then the front desk said to do it. Interesting. Okay, so that's something.
Oh, termination. Oh, this one does. Residents may have the right.
It says situations involving family violence. So are they gonna say then, because it's not a family violence, that you can't leave?
Termination is your right to possession. So everything is on the apartment's right to terminate the lease.
Mm-hmm. It's the same, we can let you sublet. But if it's the same as this,
with written consent.
and here it says that we prohibit it. And they're all the exact same. Even here, the first page, the second page here, second page here. We even go on to the third page. It's all the same. The issue is these apartments have students sign, they have them sign contracts and leases, but the apartments themselves don't even know what's in their own contract or lease. We have issues with apartments even honoring their contracts.
Survivor advocacy, because I have very strong contact with the police office, so they help us to provide an email about we really in the domestic violence to let us live in our apartment. So after we leave the apartment, we think everything is done.
These apartments know that students are going to come every year and that they do need. And I think apartments take advantage of that. They know that like students will come and go, and so they probably don't put as much work into their contracts and leases.
They're taking advantage of young renters and students not knowing their terms or not really knowing what they're getting into, and they typically don't have time to litigate. They don't know their resources as much, and every campus has their own legal resources, but it's not guaranteed for every single school. And with leasing period, since student apartments, they usually sign at the very beginning of the school year and they don't take in students at a rolling basis. Apartments don't want to let go of their clients because now they don't have anyone to fill in those spaces.
我们面对一个 这么庞大的公司，对他们来说，我们只是他们的收入来源，他们就是把我们看成一个摇钱树，这样他们就根本不想去管说你过得好不好啊，你住得好不好啊。我就觉得反正我收到你的钱了，你合约也签了，法律程序不可能就是赢得过我们，就是小虾米对抗大金鱼的故事。你这状况你根本就你没办法得到 anything improve， 你也不会有想要翻身机会，应该说几率很小，因为你今天你要赢他，你就是得走法律程序，根本就不知道你要花多少钱，然后你要花多少时间，你就只是可能住1年或1学期，90%以上的学生都会选择好，我就忍下来，就是反正过了就好了。那我觉得我现在 situation 是这样，我就想说算了，反正就1年，然后如果常常不在家，或是尽量去和缓自己的情绪的话，觉得比较好。但是所以这样的状况下，我觉得就会造成这些公司越来越嚣张跋扈，就这样继续欺负学生。
And so that's money the apartment loses if someone terminates their contract. Even if someone is going through a horrible situation, they're really just going to try to stop her from leaving.
Yeah.
Our first main thing that we noticed was when we went to apartments to ask for contracts and leases, some of them said that it was okay and printed it out and gave it to us or told us to find it online. Others said it was illegal to do so, to give us their lease/contract. Specifically with Sarah's case, we found in her contract clause added by the Violence Against Women Act. Act allows women who experience domestic violence to terminate their contract. And so her own lease had that, but the apartment did not really honor that. The apartment made her go through this big roundabout way, having to go to the law clinic, having to file a police report to show that she was being abused and for her to terminate. Another big issue that we found was the apartment told Sarah to sublease her room to someone else so she wouldn't have to live in that situation. It specifically prohibits her from subleasing or renting her room to anyone. But what's even worse is that another part of the same lease and contract actually allows residents to do that. Finally, what we noticed, all of these apartment contracts and leases are like carbon copies of each other. If you look at them, first, second, third, fourth, fifth pages are the exact same, which kind of led us to believe that these apartments, they don't know what's in their contracts. They just buy it from somewhere that makes them and then just says, hey, sign it.
I very appreciate CAP's survivor advocacy and local clinic help us to leave this apartment because help me a lot, support me our emotional, help us to deal with this situation because we're not very familiar with the law, so they help us to clarify many things and help us to fight with our apartment.
Because of all the leases that we read, that we found a lot of contradicting terms and inadequate termination options for students. So now I think we should advocate for some basic rights embedded in student apartments leases. For example, the domestic violence clause that Sarah went through. Generally, the apartments should be following through with their terms. Also advocate for that leases should be open to students to read upon request.